Alright. Hello everybody and welcome to the UWG LAN Finals. We're in the losers bracket here, or the lower bracket, or whatever you'd like to call it. This time we're facing off between My Intent and the GHawks, who were just previously playing Team Sheet in the winners bracket final, but Sheet will move on to the grand finals and they'll have a one-game lead on whoever wins this one right here, this best of 3 series. Once again, I'm Maut. Thank you for joining me. You can follow me on my Twitter if you'd like to hear more about upcoming casts that I'm doing, including the CDL or SCCS or what have you, at twitter.com/Maut2. You could find it up here as you see that little Twitter icon, and Dota as well. Follow them. And we're going to jump right into the game. And thanks for joining us, by the way. It's a nice little Saturday afternoon here in upstate New York or Ontario or wherever you are. And so we're going to get some nice ban outs. GHawks, realizing that Kodal is very frustrating to play against, is going to ban him out first pick. And why not? They had a tough time against it and Team Shiit, and of course the Kodal player was just so strong. I wish I could pronounce his name, but I believe it was all Chinese characters, so it was impossible for me to do so. I don't speak Chinese. I'm 100% Caucasian with no Chinese background, really. Undying will be the next ban out here from MYI. Not a big surprise there. Jakiro will be the ban out from GHawks, and we'll get our last ban here in just a second, get into the pick phase momentarily. Now, this is My Intent's really the only team that I've casted at this LAN Finals. Of course, there's only 3 of them, but My Intent, of course, was playing the SCCS, which is presented by NA Dota. And they've played that pretty much almost every week, and I've casted them for the majority of the games. Like it wasn't last week; it was like 2 weeks ago. I casted them. They're really strong players. Honestly, Chicken MC, really great farmer, and a lot of good plays overall. Funny to note though, when Jamie D first started and they first started playing, I'd always say like I don't know how to pronounce the name. I didn't know it was Jamie D, and it was like I pronounced like Jaime D or like Jamie D or something like that. It was really weird. And then they like in the next game after that he put his name as Jamie -DEE, just so that I was like, oh, okay. I don't know why I was having so much trouble with that. But I always have really hard times with names for whatever the reason, and most casters do for one reason or another. I'm not sure. But the Darkseer is actually available. They'll give that up, and it will go to GHawks, and Templar Assassin will be the pickup, plus the Bat Rider on the side of MYI, and they're really okay with that. And I believe Bat Rider was played really well by by My Intent the last time I saw them out, but might have been some other team. I have been casting a lot recently, so. Of course, GHawks from Wilfrid Laurier College, and My Intent mostly from University of Waterloo, which is where this is based. Make sure everything's okay. I'm having a lot of frame rate issues, probably because Skype takes up a lot for some reason. Quit this here real quick. Sorry about that. My frame rate should improve after this. So Queen of Pain will be the next pickup, followed by the Tidehunter. And they had the Queen of Pain in the previous game, but the Lycanthrope was the pick on the side of Shiit, and so they had just been pushed so much, as well as with the Kodal. It doesn't surprise me that they banned him out in this game, honestly, whatsoever. But the next pickup will come in from My Intent here, and they've got some time to do so. They have plenty of reserve time, pretty quick captain's mode, honestly. And then we'll get into the next ban phase, and then, of course, the last 2 picks will come soon after that.
10 seconds.
So this is, in fact, a best of 3. Whoever goes on to win this one will face Team Shiit in the grand finals, and they'll be Team Shiit will get a 1-game advantage over whoever wins this one,
Reserve time.
which is pretty important. I mean, if it's a best of 5, obviously you still need to win 3 games regardless, but still a 1-game advantage is always nice to have. So in fact, it could go. It's essentially a best of 4. Not really a best of 4, but it's a best of 5 with 4 games. So because even if My Intent wins 3, there's still going to be a 1 less game because you don't have to play it unless it's like no, that wouldn't make any sense. It was like a best of 6, so it's just weird. So Rubik is the pickup for My Intent here, and I believe Jamie D will probably be the pick here, and we'll see. You think about this, and there's 3 mid heroes here already on the side of My Intent. It really, I think it kind of screws with GHawks right now. What I'm thinking is Templar Assassin will probably be the mid lane hero, but you can see Templar Assassin in other lanes. I think Templar Assassin is probably the best in a mid lane. But with that being said, you'll probably see Bat Rider in the off lane, and Jamie D will be on that Rubik, I'm pretty sure, as a support hero. And Rubik's a strong support hero, but and the reason why he's not really sent mid too often is because he doesn't need nearly as much farm as like Templar Assassin or even Bat Rider to a certain extent. Rubik only really needs his boots, a bottle, maybe even arcane boots, and after that, and yeah, 4 staff's nice to get, but it's not really like Rubik's a good ganker, and I'm surprised that he's not utilized more often as one, but it's just something that we don't see too often. Of course, we see players like Jo and Dendi and all those guys play Rubik in the mid lane, but not too often. Of course, Dendi is
Dire
probably the most
team
famous for it.
banned.
Lena will be the ban out, and of course, CK on the side of my intent, and 2 more bans to go. And the way it's looking like right now is GHawks have a offlaner with the Darkseer. The Queen of Pain will be sent mid,
Radiant
probably against
team
Templar Assassin,
banned.
who's a nice mid laner against TA with Shadow Strike as a nice little dot. Still pretty tough. Templar Assassin should be
Dire
able to
team
probably
banned.
take that lane. Tidehunter will be the pickup from GHawks as well, so that'll be part of a tri-lane support. So Templar Assassin will be mid, Batrider in the offlaner against either a tri-lane or a Darkseer, in which case you probably
Radiant
give the
team
advantage
banned.
over to the Batrider, obviously just because he's not going to be too close to the creeps to last hit, and of course he'll have his lane push, but that's fine, and he can just lasso up Darkseer and take care of him, assuming that the Darkseer is low enough to be lassoed and killed. So the next few bans are going to be Sniper and Anti-Mage on the side of GHawks, and this is smart because whenever I saw MY play, Chicken MC essentially always played Sniper, and it worked really well for him too. I mean, he was a very strong Sniper. He went something like into Helm, into Yasha, into Manta, or something like that. Helmet the Dominator, obviously. So Enigma's the next ban out for my intent. 1 more ban to go. If you have any problem with the cast, if the
10
frame rate's
seconds
bad, if you
remaining.
can't hear the audio, if I am just, I don't know, if I'm
5
not
seconds
doing well,
remaining.
let me know in the chat. I'd love to hear it. Give me some pointers, some
Reserve
tips,
time.
some thoughts of your own. Would be excellent. Ban will be the Faceless Void from the side of
Dire
Faceless
team
Void,
pick.
Faceless Void from the side of my intent. And so we'll get into our last pick phase here, and that's a strong ban when you consider the Darkseer is up on the side of GHawks. I mean, you throw up that Chronosphere, and it's kind of gross. Then again, Sven also very strong with that Darkseer, and I talked about it earlier. A Darkseer vacuum into a Queen of Pain ult into a Sven cleave damage, is, or even a Stormhammer as well, is just too much to really handle. I mean, if you get that vacuum plus Stormhammer
10
off
seconds
right,
remaining.
like in a second, within each other happening, that's going to be a
5
lot of stun.
seconds remaining.
That'll be pretty much, it's an AoE stun, obviously, and so the AoE damage from Queen of Pain's ult will most certainly land on a lot of
Reserve
people, which is
time.
what you want. But we'll get into the next pick here. We're into reserve time already, and we'll see how fast this best of 3 does go. With the lineups that we have, I won't expect to see some sort of like 10, or
Luna.
like an hour-long farm fest, especially with somebody like
Radiant
Luna,
team
who's kind of a mid-game to late-game hero. There's still later-game heroes than Luna. Very strong with the Helm of the Dominator, farming those ancient stacks. Very strong with Eclipse. I mean, this is Teamfight Central if you're on the side of GHawks, which is frightening and is exciting at the same time if you're a caster like me. On top of that, you have a lot of single target damage here from MY. Not too much AoE damage. Of course, Sideblades do a little bit of AoE right click. Batrider with his Firefly is going to be a lot of early on aggression with
10
his AoE
seconds
damage, and
remaining.
Rubik, of course, with Fade Bolt. But they don't have too much team fight when you consider going up a
5
Darkseer, a
seconds
Tidehunter, a Queen of
remaining.
Pain, and a Luna, who all of which you have ultimates that do a ton of AoE damage, and even abilities that do AoE
Reserve
damage
time.
that aren't ultimates. So GHawks has a very strong lineup, and I'm excited to see how it's going to work. Luna will probably be in a tri-lane with Tidehunter and with another hero, giving her sort of some safe farm. We'll probably see some. I mean, and the nukes coming out of that too are pretty scary with just Gush and with Lucian Beam. But this is exactly what you want to pick
Dire
up if
team
you're on the
pick.
side of my intent. Disruptor is a huge player against these heroes. If you can get even just one static storm on one hero off, it's going to significantly impact their team fight lineup here for GHawks. And so we'll have to see what happens. Disruptor, really nice pickup, but sort of an ace in the hole, if you will, or whatever the terminology for that is. I'm sure I absolutely butchered it there, but whatever. So, 1 more pickup for the side of GHawks, 1 more pickup for the side of my intent, and we'll get
10
into the game here real
seconds
quick. As you can see,
remaining.
the reserve time is rather large for both teams, so they've got a lot of time here to pick,
5
and they'll
seconds
spend probably a lot
remaining.
of it here just thinking about it. I don't, unless they have, a pocket strategy of their own to go with, but
Reserve
it doesn't
time.
seem to be the case. They've been really picking as they go along, and for the most part, pocket strategies work really well, but I haven't seen too many here, except I guess if you think about Team Shia and what they did with their pushing lineup. Which was absolutely stellar, by the way. Something that I'll probably think about and just, I mean, it was really strong. Just the way they pushed. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps. Not because I'm excited, but because I am cold. It's not even cold in my room, I'm just cold. I don't know why. It's probably from a cold. But whatever, we're getting into the game in just 1 moment. The last pick is coming up from GHawks. They've got about 20 seconds, and they'll pick up Bane. So good hard support pickup for their
Radiant
last
team
pick.
pick.
Nice pick up there. one more pick for the side of my intent, and they probably don't need a hard support considering they've got Disruptor and Rubik already. They could use a carry, though, which could be Sven. In all honesty, I think would be really nice to have. But they need a little bit of AoE as well, and, you know, Faceless Void gives you a lot of that, and Luna does as well, but I'm trying to think of the other carries that give you team fight potential. And nothing's coming to mind right now, but I'm sure there's something. Brewmaster's another one, but he's more of a mid-game carry. Get out-carried by Luna later on in the game.
5 seconds remaining.
And you usually send him mid. Instead, it's going to be Riki. Interesting pickup there. And this is a nice pickup because if you pick Riki early on, yeah, they'll probably counter you with a Bounty Hunter, with a Slaughter, or even something like that. But against heroes like these guys, this could be difficult. And it's going to be the same sort of thing we see with Bounty Hunter, except just more and more annoying. The problem is you'll probably see a gem early on here, even some Sentry Wars laid down just to give them vision. Dust will probably be carried as well. That being said, we're going to jump right into the game. My frame rate's still kind of slacking off here, and despite the fact that I've turned off a lot of my background programs, so just making sure everything's fine, everything does look good. So my intent will be, we'll see Jamie D on the Disruptor, we'll see Asway on the Rubik, Chicken MC will be on that Riki, and finally we'll see Incarnate on the Bat Rider in the mid lane. We'll see the Templar Assassin played by Orbit. Meanwhile, on the side of GHawks, we'll have Hakato on the Tidehunter. We will have Wind Pulse on the Queen of Pain once again. We'll have Crapo on the Darkseer. We will have Empyrean on the Luna, and finally Windshear will be on the Bane. So what it's looking like right now is pretty standard. You'll have the tri-lane with the Tidehunter, with the Luna, with the Bane. You'll have the mid Queen of Pain, and finally you'll have the off-lane Darkseer here, and then of course mid Templar Assassin, off-lane Bat Rider, and a tri-lane with Rubik, Riki, and the Disruptor. So whose tri-lane is better? Well, that's an interesting question. The thing is, Riki's all about positioning. You obviously need to get behind somebody's back to do a lot of damage, get backstabber up early on. It's going to be a lot of damage if you can get even 1 or 2 backstabs in. The thing is also a nice diffusal blade early on will absolutely certainly help. Incarnate does need to be careful. He'll probably skill Firefly first if he gets in a bad position. Otherwise, he might go for napalms, sticky napalms, something like that. So the tri-lane here has a lot of nuke potential. Brain Sap is going to be a lot of damage. I mean, Lucent Beam's getting a lot of damage, and Gush is a lot of damage. If we're thinking about who's going to win this game early on, it's going to probably be a good tri-lane for the side of GHawks, just because of the amount of nukes they can throw out onto the Bat Rider from a distance. I mean, the thing about Bat Rider is it can last hit from, I mean, a decent range, and Firefly as well, and he'll stay back and get experience. And if you think about the nukes in this lane, it's more so positioning nukes, things like that. And MYI is going to have a tough time here, I think. They'll be able to get a bunch of kills on Darkseer, but the real problem is really catching up to him. They'll have the kinetic field, which is absolutely great from stopping him from, you know, running away with his surge, and that's going to be really huge. I mean, even stuns don't really last as long as the kinetic field, and it really gives you his nicest positioning. On top of that, you've got telekinesis, which can put him back in the kinetic field, so we'll keep that in mind. Meanwhile, we're already seeing a Shadow Strike onto Orbit early on. Going for Meld first, just to avoid the nuke damage. Nice plays there. Taking some right click, though, so... And we'll keep our eyes on this. I'll put up the last hit charge just for you guys. Incarnate will skill Firefly first, not Napalm just yet. He's going to be getting some experience here, and Shear's going to try to zone him out early on. He's got Nightmare, and that he might just be spamming that to piss him off and just to make sure that he doesn't really get any last hits. Last hit's going for 3 for Riki, 2 for Luna right now. Once again, pretty early on, so we'll have to see what happens. Meanwhile, we're going to see a stack and what looks to be a pull from Hakato. He's actually going to pull right now. I believe it's not even going to be a stack. I don't know if he's going to get it off, though. This is a long pull. And in fact, it does work. I keep forgetting that you can pull that camp. And these creepers will actually come in and push it just a little bit more because this is such a small camp here. So it actually will push the camp a little bit quicker to the tower, but then I'm sure he'll do another pull. Orbit, just getting some denies off right now. So 4 for him right now, 7-7 for the Riki, and doing a good job of it. And Crapo getting zoned out. Only has Surge right now. He actually didn't skill Ion Shell first, probably just with Surge just to make sure he can get out alive, but he has got no experience right now. And so this lane has not been pushed up, and even if it does, they do have these wards here, so they won't be able to pull. And the pull camps are very limited on the side of the Radiant. Of course, you can pull into the middle lane, but that requires some tree clearing here. So, meanwhile, we're going to see a Sway heading to the mid lane, looking for perhaps a kill or just maybe some runes here real quick. And Darkseer is actually rotated up to the top lane with Crapo. I think they're going to try to switch around tri-lanes here, something that GHawks did last game, and it worked well for them, but still could use some more switching here. Play musical lanes once again. And so free farm essentially for MYI right now. They're going to have a Sway roaming around. They don't need him to stay in lane when they don't have, you know, any sort of trouble here. Incarnate not getting too much damage taken. They might go for a gank here or go for a kill early on, even though there's only Surge really up on the Darkseer. Nightmare up onto one of the Centaur Cons. And Incarnate will take that last hit because the Nightmare doesn't last too long. So free Centaur con there for him. That's good. That's a big deal. It's going to be some experience as well. He's level 2 right now, and a Sway will probably just continue to stay here looking for a zone on a Darkseer that doesn't really exist in this lane right now. They'll probably rotate sometime soon. We have the Darkseer up in the top lane still. Courier, they want the Courier. They're going to get the kill there. A little bit of misplay from Windpulse, so unfortunate for them. And MY is able to take that off, and that's going to get some nice gold for them as well for the entire team, really. So I think they're probably pretty happy about that. And Chicken's getting free farm. He's at about 20 last hits. I don't know if he's missed any just yet. He's pretty easy with backstab, honestly, and he can just, you know, right-click and essentially get every single one unless he misses one just like that and another. But that's fine. They're doing really well in that lane. Of course, 14 last hits for Luna, though, essentially also getting free farm. But this lane is getting pushed out to the tower now. Incarnate will have some time to get some experience. He's going for what looks to be Tringle Boots around. He's got that Ring of Regen, so not surprising there. So I'll help him stay in lane, and it'll be tough to gank him with that Firefly, but we'll keep that in mind. And with the 2 Slippers of Agility, he might be going for some Wraith Bands here, but a fast defusal also could happen. He's got about 1,400 in bank right now, and Incarnate does need to be careful. He cannot afford to really get ganked here. I mean, of course, there is 3 sticky napalm charges on Luna, 4 now, and he's actually going to try to go for a killer. I think they're going to try to dive, and Empyrean is going to actually stay alive just because they're sort of kiting him around here. He got slowed with that gush, and he's taking a bit of damage, but the right click is really nice from Incarnate. This could be first blood. One more should do the job, and Empyrean will go down. Incarnate getting first blood there. They're still chasing Windshear off here. JBD will glimpse him back in, and now he's going to Nightmare himself, but that's, he should go down here. He's going to keep stacking the charges. Nightmare is taken by Incarnate, but he's going to go down on Tara regardless, so 2 for nothing right now, and Incarnate playing extremely well up here in this top lane. Rotation from Windpulse will get the haste rune and actually head back mid, so already that tri-lane not working well for the side of Mayan 10. They try to dive the tower, but when you have a Bat Rider who can stack up so many charges like that, you saw how much right-click he was doing with those charges stacked up, and that's going to be pretty important. So Incarnate already with the first blood, plus getting that other kill from the tower's help, and of course the Jamie AD who rotated in with the teleportation scroll. And meanwhile, Bravo doesn't need to be here right now. His Surge is gone. There's going to be the silence, followed by the Blink Strike. Will it be enough? One more should do the job, and he's actually going to back off. Doesn't want to have to dive that tower. And remember, Riki is very, very squishy. He's going to buy his Power Treads right up quickly. Nice job there. That's essentially, he just bought boots plus the Power Treads rather quickly. He had about 1,500 gold at the bank, so he was able to buy it up full. 25 last hits for him. He's at 5 minutes, so he's actually looking on pace for 50 right now, which at 10 minutes is what you want. Pretty standard build for Luna, going with Lucent Beam into the Lunar Blessing. Looking at which here he's got the double Brain Sap into the 1 Nightmare as well, so also standard and Hikato. Going for 1/1/1. Queen of Pain with the boots on the in the stash right now. Also doing pretty well, level 6 right now. How's the Templar Assassin doing? Actually, Queen of Pain and Templar Assassin are actually tied right now, but Templar Assassin taking a bit of damage here. Orbit kind of low. Windpulse, though, going to be taking some side blade damages, and nice little creep kills there. Krapos still has to stay down here. He does have 2 points into Iron Shell right now, so he caught up rather quickly despite being up in the top lane, sort of leeching that experience. Level 2 for the Rubik, surprisingly. He hasn't done much, but that's okay. He's got 1 point into Fable, which is nice. He's also almost level 3. He's actually might be heading mid here for a gank. Fire Spear does respawn, and Hikato will actually pop up this ward up on the top ground. And we're going to see a trap going on to Impulse, and that should be enough. There's no blink there. The side blade plus the metal damage is too much. Orbit getting another kill. That's 3 for nothing on the side of Mayan 10. They're playing really well. And this could be trouble early on for GHawks, but that being said, this Rubik, pretty underleveled, could be a big deal here, as well as the Disruptor not really too high in levels. Incarnate, though, level 5 already. Magic Wand recipe is finished up. It'll be flying out to him shortly. Empyrean here as well, almost level 5 as well. And Templar Assassin getting a nice little Invis Rune bottle, which will be helpful. Pole camps are dewarded. They ran out just about 30 seconds ago, and so polling is available for them, but it doesn't really matter because this is being pushed in by Iron Shell, and they're going to try to deny this creep relatively quickly. Chicken MC just missing the last hit there, but it doesn't matter. He's already got a Poor Man's Shield as well. That's what he's building towards, not a Wraith Band or anything like that. Duh. It's always Poor Man's Shield. I always keep forgetting about that. Doing a good job of farming regardless, and that Diffusal Blade should be coming relatively quickly, and that's going to be important. But that Iron Shield is going to get frustrating really quickly, and Crapo does need to be careful. He does not have a Soul Ring just yet. He's got his Sage's Mask, and he can spam that for quite some time, but not too much. Now, Sticky Napalm up here in the top lane will slow things down just a little bit, and farm level 4 on that Tidehunter, but almost Lasso level for Bat Rider, and that's going to be a big deal for ganks, things of that nature. Level 8 for the Templar Assassin. I love this hairstyle, by the way. I love that cosmetic item. I think it's really cool. Kind of wish I had one of my own. I love playing Templar Assassin, one of my favorite heroes to play, just because she's easy and kind of a pub stomp hero, in all honesty. Nightmare up on Incarnate. They're going to look for something here, maybe to go on something. Well, there's the Gush to follow in, the Lucent Beam fall as well, but they don't have really anything else to follow up with it. Firefly will come in as well, and Incarnate can try to turn this around just a little bit. He's got Tranquils, which he will pop, I'm assuming, very soon, once they're off, cooldown from getting hit like that. Mid lane, Mel damage going onto Wind Pulse. Does he have a blink? He does. He'll blink onto the high ground. There's the trap, though. Nice trap. Will it be a kill? Here's the question. Nice bottle charges. Wind Pulse will have to dive this a little bit. Fraction will take up the damage and get the kill there. So good play by Templar Assassin. That's 4 for nothing here on the side of MYI. Looking at the graphs right now, 1,500 for experience. Gold is looking about 2,000 at 8 minutes and 12 seconds into the game. So excellent play here, but the thing is, once you get a Helm of the Dominator on Luna, never count this team out, especially with the team fight potential they've got. So we'll keep that in mind. I mean, you Fiend's Grip essentially one person. I don't know who it'll be. It could be Riki. It could be the Templar Assassin, both of which are pretty squishy, and Fiend's Grip will probably do a lot of damage to both. And then, of course, the team fighting abilities from everybody will take them down relatively quickly if they can get them in the right position. Of course, with the Darkseer, that should not be too hard. But MYI's got a commanding lead early on, and that's the thing. But once these heroes hit level 6 on the side of GH, especially this Tidehunter and this Darkseer, not even Darkseer because level 6 is not the goal, level essentially 11 or 12 was the goal for the wall replica. But yeah, like I said, watch out at level 6. This could mean trouble for a lot of the teams here. Chicken MC, though, doing a good job of last hitting. Blade of Alacrity is finished up on him. He needs one more, and plus the, I forget the recipe, and is it a Band of Elven skin as well? I don't think so. Let's look at the Diffusal Blade recipe here real quick. Where is it? It is here. Oh, it's the Rope of the Magi. That's right. I forgot about that. Band of Elven skin is the Yash. Okay. And the one less Blade of Alacrity.
Oh, did that hurt?
Diffusal Blade is such a strong item. Just such a strong item. Plus the fact that you can purge your own dust off of you is really nice. And it's one of the best slows in the game, and against something like a Darkseer is absolutely huge. I think it's a really great pickup. Really, really great. Still, though, the right-click damage will be a lot, but the team fighting, not so much. I mean, you think about team fighting potential from MYI, and there's not a whole lot of it, except for Incarnate and sort of, I guess, Disruptor here, and maybe even the Fade Bolt. The good thing is they have a Rubik that can steal a lot of spells, but that's going to be tough. He'll need to get a Force Staff, or he'll need... And the thing is, Tidehunter will have to get a Blink Dagger. Meanwhile, Blink coming up from the high ground from Wind Pulse was actually getting crunched in here by 2 heroes from Incarnate and Orbit in the mid lane, so... Looking at the last hit chart right now, 59 for the side at the 10-minute mark, by the way. 59 for the Riki, 52 for Empyrean, so both of which are having a good time. Farm going really well for Luna, but at the same time, just a little bit better for the Riki, who actually is doing nicely. And, of course, Incarnate with those kills will get a Blink Dagger relatively soon. He hasn't been ganked yet. Does buy up something coming on the Courier. It was a bunch of stuff, actually. It's actually a Urn of Shadows plus that Magic Wand recipe came in there. He'll get a Blink Dagger, but not just yet. He's getting all of his real core items before he does get that Blink Dagger. There's the Lucent Beam just to fly out, just to really harass a little bit. Counter Warding coming in from Windshear. Take out that top ground, plus the Psionic Trap Vision from the Rune Spot. And now Team Ward's gonna... Team D Ward, excuse me. It's this hashtag from Orbit is gonna come in here, and Incarnate and Windshear, or Incarnate and Orbit gonna look for something, but they're not gonna find anything. Ping's coming onto Crapo right now. Diffusal's still not finished up. I think it actually might be flying out to him right now. No, just 2 of the Blade of Alacrities. He does need the Rope of the Magi plus the recipe, and then he'll have that relatively soon, which shouldn't take him too much longer. And then he can start roaming and ganking. He's level 7 right now. He's got that Perma and Viz, so they'll need to be careful. They need to have a lot of counter wards. They'll need to carry Dust, and this is going to be a problem until they can get a Gem of True Sight, which may not... I mean, it may take a while. So dropping an Iron Branch there is Riki. He still has a Magic Stick up on him. Incarnate on the low ground right now, actually kind of in a little bit of a bad position here. Windshear can come up and go for a Nightmare, in fact does. Firefly is up on Incarnate, but it's going to run out of cooldown here in just a second. There's going to be the Eclipse, and Incarnate's in a big trouble there. He's going to go down. Luna getting the last hit there, so they do get on the board with that kill, popping the Eclipse, and pretty important, 2,000 gold to the bank. Probably going to be Helm of the Dominator next. I'd have to be surprised if it wasn't, and we'll see in just a moment. Orbit looking for more last hits here, doing a good job, 59 last hits. Queen of Pain only has 41, but she's very low. She's going to have to back off, even with that Null Talisman. Still only has regular boots right now. Bottom lane, Crapo with probably a Soul Ring, I imagine he does have one. He's doing a good job of farming. He had a rough start, but he's doing okay now. TP's coming under the top lane. Chicken MC looking for something. I don't know if they know that he's here. There's no Sentry Ward in the jungle. Empyrean might be in some trouble here. No Diffusal just yet. Chicken doesn't want to go too much further. There's going to be the Kinetic Field. We'll miss... And I think they have to know that Chicken's probably around here somewhere. They say that he's missing bottom, and so I'm assuming that they know. Trap flying off into the top lane. Nice little pull from Orbit, just to make this push out just a little bit more. So Chicken will rotate around to the back of the tower, and we see 4 here on the top lane, on the side of GH. Trap will fly out, and they're looking for something. Firefly's going to come in. Here's going to be another TP, so they're going to fight as 5 right now. There's a nice kinetic field, trapping Luna in there. Static Storm as well. There's the lasso onto Windpulse. A lot of damage from this Firefly, and in fact, Queen of Pain will go down. Windshear going to go down as well. It looks like Templar Assassin getting the kill on Crapo. So fighting 3v5, and right now they're going to actually get 4 kills here. It looks like, man, oh my goodness, the freaking Batrider and that combination with Disruptor is so strong. 4 for nothing on a fight 5v3. Essentially is what it was. They didn't have the Sway rotate up until the very end of that team fight, it looked like, and Jamie D just rotated at the end. So it's actually kind of a 5v5 there, but 8-1 is the score right now, and My Intent will take that tower, and they're looking really strong. Experience graphs is going to go way up after that fight. Gold as well. Man, 74 last hits too on the Riki, so he's got his Diffusal Blade coming, I'm sure, right now. He does, in fact, have the recipe plus the Robe of the Magi on the Courier, and what he's going to do next is anybody's guess. TP will come bottom. I just saw him disappear from the map, but I got kind of scared there. He actually sent the Courier bottom while he was TPing in, so didn't want to send it and, you know, have to go up to the top lane and then have it fly all the way back down through the mid lane. So, really smart play there. Just the little things that count. Windpulse is going to come in. He's going to maybe look for a little bit of harassment onto Chicken MC, but it's going to be tough. There's no real vision. They have Dust on the Queen of Pain, which is important, but I don't think Dust would have saved them in that fight, honestly. They would need to pop it prematurely. They didn't know when they were getting initiated on, so just some things to keep in mind. Incarnate really strong with that Firefly, of course, and stacking up those Napalm strikes when you have your Firefly up is absolutely critical, plus the lasso. So he will be getting a Blink Dagger soon. I don't know if he didn't buy one. He didn't get enough money from those kills, even though that was a lot of kills there. And Diffusal onto Windpulse right now, and he doesn't get the dust or the smoke down just in time, so they do miss that kill, but it doesn't matter because just harassing a little bit just to make sure he doesn't get any last hits. Rotation from Crapo plus a Kato are down here now as well. So 3 versus 3 if they decide to go. Is Ravage available is the question on Kato. And it is. He is level 6. What about the Wall Replica? Not so much. And 2 levels of Vacuum though is pretty nice. And the Iron Shell as well will do a lot of damage. But we see a backing from NYI right now. And they're looking for something. We see a Courier flying in. Actually going to give awards to a Sway. Playing that number 5 role pretty well, it looks like. Or Jamie D is actually going to be getting a mech relatively soon. Has the recipe for the buckler. Just needs to finish it off. Then the headdress, then the mech recipe as well. So it's a work in progress. Meanwhile, mid Orbit here with the Mithril Hammer, looking like Desolator will be the next pickup after his Blink Dagger. So already a lot of farm for him. He's playing really well. And Windshear and Windpulse will both deny the mid tower here. Windpulse getting the deny. Still, that's 2 towers gone right now on the side of GH, and they're not looking too good at this point in time. With the Riki at level 9, let's look at the levels here. Yeah, I mean, level 12 in the Templar Assassin is something that you have to watch out for. And Luna's pretty far behind, probably going for a Helm of the Dominator, still farming the jungle. Actually going for Yasha first, not going for the Helm. Will not stack these up just yet. Can wait, kind of. If you're trying to go for a mid-game team-fighting hero, Yasha's probably better than the Helm of the Dominator. The Life Steal's nice, but of course, you really want it for that ancient stacking ability. The Yasha's good just because it gives you that movement speed, the attack speed, and the agility, which Luna needs. So, also 5 assists on the side of the Disruptor. He's been playing really well. The Static Storm in that previous team fight was nice. They were all pumped up for that. He's going to finish the headdress up as well as the Buckler. Buckler does actually finish into his inventory just then. Group up mid from the side of GH, and not sure what they're going to do here. Incarnate moves back up to the top lane. He's actually going to go for an early Force Staff rather than the Blink Dagger first. Regardless, still a nice pickup item. Usually you get the Force Staff for your exiting with your Lasso rather than the initiation. Blink in, Lasso, Force Staff out. Diffusal might be coming here onto Crapo. There's going to be Telekinesis plus the smoke screen, and he's going to stay in there, and Riki will get the kill with his backstab there. So the Iron Shell doing a ton of damage, though. He can't stay to that, and he'll have to back off. You see how squishy Riki can be. Doesn't have too much HP right now. Going for an Overclip, so probably be BKB early on, and that's going to be important. No mech to heal him up just yet. Nobody has a salve. He'll have to pop his magic stick charges. This bottom tower getting pushed a little bit. The last tier 1 for GH on the side, and they're going to have to TP in and maybe look for a team fight. They need to initiate with something soon. They've got all these team fight heroes, and they're not doing anything with it. Orbit on the low ground with his illusions, looking for something right now. Can blink in, can do a lot of damage early on, and they might even be able to dive this tower. Riki cannot take the brunt of the tower damage. He'll go down extraordinarily quickly. In fact, all these heroes can't really. Riki's actually going to rotate up here into the mid lane right now, get some farm, and then maybe think about fighting with a BKB. Once he finishes this BKB, it's going to be scary. NYI will be able to control the team fights, just simply by smoke screening, things of that nature. And it's going to be huge. So we'll have to see what happens. Wimpulse is going to get glimpsed in. There's a static storm on Hokkaido. He's looking for a Ravage, it looks like. He's only going to be able to get 2 if he does go for it, and he's going to back off now. Here comes Orbit as well. He's actually stuck in the trees, it looks like. Glimpse is not available. They just used it on Wimpulse right now. Imperion coming in as well. Riki is here. He TP'd in. Nothing doing, though. Just sort of them staring at each other. It'd be 5-on-5 right now if they decided to go. Crapple with no wall replica just yet. He's got 2 into Vacuum, 4 into Ion Shell. Imperion has Eclipse. He might use it, but it would have to be a lot on the creeps here. As soon as the creeps wave go away, that could be something that happens. There is a Sentry Ward that is popped. They're looking for Chicken MC. He should not be on the front lines of this, otherwise he gets caught out and goes down. Invincibility Rune is bottled up by the Templar Assassin. We'll come back around and look for a kill, but once again, that Sentry Ward is available. Crapple popping his Soul Ring, looking for more Ion Shells here. Plus on Hokkaido, so a lot of damage will be going if they get in close. There's a Lucent Beam on Incarnate. Looking to start something, nothing just yet, though. A lot of maid mugging, a little bit of a Mexican standoff, but nothing doing just yet. Templar Assassin is here, still not bottled in the Invis just yet. Or not popping that Invis just yet, doesn't need to. Surge is up on Hokkaido, not going to go in, though. He's going to waste some time here. Only level 1 Surge, by the way. Looking to swing around is Templars, or the Bat Rider, excuse me, through the trees and then coming in on the other side. Imperion taking a lot of damage, is going to get slowed, will be surged up, followed by a Nightmare, but now Windshear's in a sort of a bad position. They might try to just kill Imperion here, in fact they will. Nice Vacuum, there's the Ravage, it's going to be on 4. Sonic Wave going to hit on 2 as well. Incarnate looking to go down as well, but Jamie D does go down. It was stolen by Rubik though, Sway getting the kill on Hokkaido. Nice steal from Rubik, there's the Eclipse. Chicken MC taking a bit of damage, Rubik will go down. There's going to be the smoke onto Imperion. Riki doing a lot of damage, Templar Assassin still up as well. Flame Break hitting them as well, so 3 for 2 is the trade right now. Good fight for MYI. The steal from the Rubik was absolutely insane, getting that that Scream of Pain off, the Sonic Wave off, hitting a few people with it, but he did go down soon after that, and honestly it was good coordination from GHawks right now, and they had a good team fight there. They only got 2 though in that sort of Vacuum Ravage Sonic Wave combo, and they killed 1 pretty much instantaneously, but other than that, the Sonic Wave getting stolen, kind of something you don't want to have happen. And even might want to get a BKB just so that doesn't happen in the near future, because there's so many different things that can happen. And I think GH should maybe think about getting BKBs in general, just to really avoid the Rubik and the Bat Rider. And well, the Bat Rider will still be able to last you through the BKB, so keep that in mind. Jamie D, nice plays there in that last one, and a Sway as well. Recipe Headdress still there. Looking for some mech to finish up rather soon, but of course it will take some more time. Sentry Ward is about to run out, but they're going to counter ward it regardless. And now Chicken MC, who didn't go down in that last fight, very close to his BKB, just needs the recipe. He's pretty close to farming it. Once he does get it, that's going to be hard for GH to really go through that magic community and really get a kill there. They'll have to focus him down with right click, which they don't have a lot of except for Luna. And the Queen of Pain a little bit, who does not have treads yet, so really no. There's no real right click from the Queen of Pain, so. However, one thing that does go through Magic Community, the Fiend's Grip will go through Magic Community, just does no damage while it does go through it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's correct. Diffusal Blade with 5 Purge charges left. We'll see if he upgrades it to the second Diffusal Blade later on. This is something we don't really see too often, is a Riki in, in competitive Dota games. But once again, a lot of fun to watch. Darkseer will deny the bottom tower, so tier 1s are gone for the side of GHawks, and they're losing map control pretty quickly. No tower's gone for the side of MYI. They've got to have a pretty sizable advantage. In fact, they do 10,000 in experience, 10,000 in gold, and MYI is sort of running away with this one. Windpole's going to come in. There's going to be the dust onto Orbit. He needs to get out of there. He's going to have a tough time. Shadow Strike taking away the refraction charges. He has a blink in about 2, but it's going to keep going. Sonic Wave will pop off, will whiff because of the refraction, and now Windpulse is actually in trouble. Will go down. Chicken MC getting the kill. Bane will actually get the kill on Orbit, though, but now rotation in, and Windshear will go down. Right click getting a double kill for Chicken MC. Nice job there. So unfortunate the Sonic Wave was popped off, and the refraction took up the brunt of it, so just barely missing. Nice refraction from Orbit to save his life for the moment. Chicken MC coming in and dealing the damage there. BKB's flying out as soon as the courier gets back home. And now MYI is going to look for this tier 2 tower and do a bit of damage to it. So meanwhile, top Imperion's going to look for some more farm. Has not gotten anything after that Yaksha. He's having some trouble, of course, with that last team fight going down in the river down here early on. He not something you wanted to have happen, but this tier 2 taking a bit of tower right now. Riki actually headed to the top lane, looking for a kill on Imperion, who is now rotated mid. And what's the other items looking like here? Blink Dagger on the TA, of course. The Force Staff has finished off. Cloak is the next choice for the Incarnate, just so that he can avoid some spell damage, of which there's a lot of on the side of the Dire. Maybe even a BKB might have been better, but regardless, he's still looking really well. Hokkaido with the headdress, probably going for the mech early on, maybe even a pipe. And Buckler has been finished on JMD for quite some time. Deso will be finished for Orbit soon. And he's looking strong. Traps are perched up here. You can see a lot of them all over the map. And now we see backing from the side of GHawks. I can't really do anything about map control that they're losing here. And Riki, of course, just with the absolute amount of damage he can pour out with his right click. His BKB is finished up. They'll look to fight relatively soon, I think, but not under the tier 2 tower. That's too much damage early on. 23 minutes in the game. They still don't want to take too much of that. Roshan is available. Has his Aegis. Obviously, he's Roshan, so. And Empyrean with the Yasha here. God, my frame rate is so laggy and I hate it. I don't know why either. So I apologize. Let me see what the chat's saying. Hopefully it's good stuff. Sorry, I usually don't like alt-tabbing in-game, and I usually have a second monitor, but not today. Kato, Windshear, and Windpulse are here in the mid lane with a rotation coming in from Crapo right now. And GHawks needs to get it together because they just lost to Team Shiit, and MYI is playing really well right now, and I'm in fact going to go for a smoke gank here, and they can find somebody out. They've got the Force Staff into a Flaming Lasso, and we see a pause coming from Batrider and maybe just some technical difficulties real quick, or maybe just they want a second here. Tech problem, they do say, so we'll get back in just one moment. Oh god, it's freezing in my room. I don't even know why. I don't think it's freezing in my room, I just think I have a cold because I've been sick for the past few days. And we're good to go now. Unpause coming in just a moment. Chicken MC will rotate up top, or maybe they're going to loop around and look for the old swoop in here. They're checking the jungle, nothing they can find though. Everybody's back here below this tier 2 tower on the side of GHawks.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Their own mid tower is actually being pressured just a little bit by some creeps, but nothing too crazy. MY looking for the Roche Pit right now. Do they find anything? No, doesn't look like it. Incarnate really didn't go in there, so it doesn't matter. But Empyrean and his team are sort of just sitting around not doing anything. Not that they can really force anything. They can really try to force anything right now. If they did, I think they might get a kill or two, but the experience difference is just too large, I think, for my intent. They've got all these heroes leveled up, and 15 and 14 is scary for your 2 carries, and of course Batrider 12 is also not something you want to deal with. And they've just they've been sitting around this time. They haven't been getting much done. The drums are finished up on the side of Luna. We see Crapo getting a what looks to be a pipe coming in, a hood actually. Will be flying in, as well as something else. Chainmail. So headdress, and actually no, that's mech, excuse me. But Crapo is going to get something, I thought. No? Never mind. He gets the mech finished up, so Hokkaido will be going for Cloak into the hood, into the, of course, the meanwhile team fight might be happening here, but that Roshan crew needs to get out of there. Roshan does in fact go down, by the way. Chicken MC will pick it up. And now we see some backing from the side of GH. They can't really do anything right now, and now MY can afford to be a little bit aggressive here, and why not? They've got a Desolator on orb with that minus armor. Of course, Chicken MC with his Purge, with the fact that he's got a BKB, his Sway, with his Arcane Boots, of course the initiation from Batrider and Jamie D with almost a mech. Still needs the, he's got 2 recipes, but he needs to build everything else first. He just needs to get the Iron Branch and the Ring of Regen, I believe it is, for the headdress to finish off that. And then that'll fly into him very soon. But Chicken MC and MYI looking to force something right now, bottom lane. Empyrean is here, he's trying to farm a little bit, and he needs to do so. He needs to get some sort of right click up on him. Yasha's not going to do much against this Fuse Blade, BKB, Riki. So tier 2's gone. You're going to rotate bottom right now, looking for Empyrean. Force Staff coming in, slow coming in as well. Eclipse is going to be popped and taking some damage as Incarnate. They're going to try to split this. Incarnate does live, just barely though, but Luna will in fact go down. I don't know if she has a buyback. I think she does. She's got about 1,000 gold. She does have a buyback ready. Whether or not she uses it is up to her. She's got about 40 seconds before she's back up. Courier bringing something to somebody. Was Mech, I think, finishing for Disruptor, and yes, it was. Orbit now. down here pushing this lane out, and they can afford to go for this tier 2 tower. GHawks and his team have been sort of sitting around doing nothing for the past few minutes, and Chicken MC has been proactively farming as well as Rashaning. Orbit up here, giving some vision with the illusion, which will pop off in just a second. What's the next choice here for the Templar Assassin is the question. You've plenty of farm, 2400. You've got a Desolator, you've got a Blink Dagger, you've got Phase Boots, you've got a Bottle. Maybe go for something like a Manta style. Who knows? Maybe a little bit more tankiness, Heart of Trask, Daedalus even. Daedalus is obviously the next common choice. It really is what people see, just because the damage output is so high, and you don't need tankiness when you have Refraction, really. We might see an initiation on Wind Pulse. There's the last one. A lot of damage. The weld is just so strong. Glimpse onto GHawks, who had actually TP'd in. He's gone for the time being. Batroder getting the kill on Queen of Pain is nice. Actually, was he TP'd in? No, he wasn't. So he didn't TP in. Someone else TP'd in. And this tier 2 tower is going down right now, and if you look at the graphs, I think NY is absolutely running away with this. They've got 14,000 in gold difference right now. They'll take this tier 2, they'll look for the tier 3. Top is being pressured by Chicken MC. Imperial's looking to come in here and take him out, but that's Riki's getting some decent farm in the meantime. And where's he going to go next is the question. Could go for something like Butterfly here, just to make him even a little bit more hard to kill. Tower is taking some damage, and it looks like the tier 2 will fall. There's no fortification available, nobody really rotating in. Empyrean's over here, but he can't take Riki alone. So MYI right now is in the driver's seat here. I don't think there's really any way for them to lose this game at this point. They're 2 out farmed. I mean, despite the fact that the GH has such a strong team fight, we've only seen it once, and it didn't really go so well. It did okay, but really not as good as it could have been. And I think the side of GH is being just a little too cautious, I think. Well, they're a little too cautious now for good reason. Before this, though, they could have tried to maybe initiate on something. And Riki's playing really well, and the rest of his team's playing well, so the Eagle Song will be finished up for Riki, so it looks like it will be a Butterfly. So Chicken, doing nice. The rest of the team playing strong, and GH is looking to try to defend this tier 3, and why wouldn't they? Of course, they're not going to give up just yet. There's still a chance. When there's a will, there's a way. BKB purchased up by TA, so that'll be the next common denominator for her. So Orbit has a lot of farm. And they're still playing pretty passively. 17-4 is the score. Looking at the net worth real quick. Yeah, Riki's leading this one by a mile, it looks like. He's almost got his either Talisman of Evasion, or he can buy his quarterstaff up right now if he wants to. So Butterfly is going to be done rather soon. He's almost level 16, in fact, is going to turn level 16 rather soon. Mid-aggression being pushed out here by the side of Empyrean and GH. They're looking for something. They may have to engage in a team fight, and I think they're ready for it. If they can get something going in a team fight here, or even get a few pickoffs, they might be in a good position, but it's hard to pick heroes off when you have a Riki on the other team. He's essentially the ultimate pick-off hero, in certain regards, when you don't have a Gem of True Sight. Bonnet being pressured now by Jamie D, as well as Sway will TP into the mid lane right now, and Jamie D will back off. Has a TP scroll, can TP in. It might be a 4v5 fight here. Chicken MC looking for someone. Actually going to defuse up Sheer. Nice little silence there onto Wind Pulse. Sheer should go down here in just a second. In fact, does. Lazo no Empyrean, he's taking a lot of damage. Pipe is going to be popped. There's going to be the Ravage, as well as the Sonic Wave. Eclipse as well. Chicken MC will go down. His Aegis will be popped, but those are the team fighting abilities all gone now on the side of GH. So they used all the team fighting abilities. They were able to get the kill off and the Aegis, but they actually lose Bane in the process of doing so. But now I think MY can be a little bit more aggressive. They realize those team fighting abilities are all down. The Wall Replicas down, the Sonic Waves down, the Ravage is down, the Eclipse is down, and they only got one kill out of it, essentially. So, Crapo trying to defend this now, but there's nothing they can do. Glimpse is actually going to send it back just a little bit. And the tower will take a fall here. There's no fortification to stop this. Empyrean, as his glaives maxed out, can go for a level, try to fight this, but Hikato doesn't have Ravage. There's really nothing they can go for. Blink in from BKB to Orbit right now. BKB is going to pop on Chicken MC as well. A lot of damage going to Winch. Heal and go down once more. Wind Pulse will take a fall as well, keep taking those right clicks. Nice little silence there on the side of the Disruptor, Jamie D, but nothing going just there. Meanwhile, Templar Assassin's actually going to get the kill on Hikato. Luno is going to get the kill on Rubik in the meantime, so they're pushing this back slowly but surely. Despite the fact that they have no team fights right now, they're doing okay. Crapo is actually going to get caught out here. Surge should be up in about 3 seconds. There's going to be Lucent Beat on the Chicken MC. He might go down, but the melt damage will take care of the Queen of Pain there. Probably streak is end for Riki right now. Kinetic Field is going to fly up. Nice vacuum. They'll get the kill onto Templar Assassin. There's the lasso onto Empyrean. Empyrean looks like he will go down here in just a second, and as well as Crapo. So trading kills left and right now. Templar Assassin will buy back as well as the Darkseer. Does he have his wall yet? Nope, not for another 3 seconds. Hikato doesn't have his Ravage for sure. And they haven't used Finn's Grip just yet, and I think Bane is looking for something. Pipe has been popped. They're going to back off, though. They were able to get the Tier 3 tower. No racks, though. Very close on the melee racks, but nothing doing just that. And Jamie D will back off as well. Doesn't have any mana to use. Going to go for a Drums of Endurance as well on him. So, interesting amount of trades there. I think that might have helped GH just a little bit. They lost a lot of heroes, but at the same time, they picked off the Riki, who died with the Aegis and then died once again. Just trying to get some kills. 20k is the experience and gold. It's looking like right now. So, MY is still running away with this relatively. They've got a strong advantage, I'd say. But it was a really, the team fight was nice up here. You saw the wall of replica right along this line. There were 2 heroes here. I think it was the Bat Rider who was here, and of course the Riki was here. The Riki barely surviving. Of course the Bat Rider did go down through all the clips and what have you, the Ravage, the Vacuum, the Sonic Wave. They used a lot of abilities for 2 heroes, but getting 1 kill, I mean, at least they got 1. So, and they were able to get some kills and pressure them off that Tier 3 and that Rax, even without team fighting abilities. Now Quarterstaff will be the next choice for Riki. He's going to try to do some backstabs here. And he's still able to farm these Ancients without backstabbing relatively quickly, so TP going to come mid now from the side of Jamie D. And so what does Orbit decide to go after his BKB is the question. He's got 1,700 gold. He did buy back in a team fight, but didn't pressure. Match style is purchased up for the Luna, and that's going to be pretty helpful. Those illusions will be doing a lot of damage. I mean, that's a lot of damage right there, regardless. So if they can get a favorable team fight again with all of their ultimates up, which I believe all of them are, or close to it anyway, then they'll be in a good position. Yeah, all of their ultimates look to be up, and they're going to try to defend mid here because we see an oncoming pressure from MYI. Sentry Ward on the high ground from Jamie D. Wants to spot everything out. Actually could find out this Observer Ward there, but doesn't need to. Sentry Ward here on the low ground. They want to try to catch Riki out here, and they might be able to do so, but he's got that BKB, plus the Butterfly has been finished up. There's the trap. No Tier 3 to really defend here. The Tier 4s, of course, have got a lot of range, so Kinetic Field going to try to push him back. Here's Hikato. He's actually going to get initiated on. There's the BKB silence. He's going to go down immediately. There's the wall of replica. BKB pop for Chicken MC as well. Going to get the kill on Bane is the Disruptor. Now there's the Sonic Wave, but it does not go through the BKB. Disruptor getting the kill on Bane, of course, and then, like I just said, Orbit going to get the double kill, this time on the Queen of Pain. Crapo trying to chase Jamie D down, and a sway is both really low, but here comes Incarnate trying to save the day with the right-click damage, and 4 stacks of Sticky Napalm taking a ton of right-click right now. 5, there's the Vacuum. Will he get 1 kill is the question. No, he doesn't. He's very close to the sway and Jamie D, but not so. 4 down on the side of GH, Luna not, but Chicken MC right-clicking these Raxes away, and I think this is going to be it for the side of GH, and we'll probably move on to Game 3 Game 2 in relative short order. And the Tier 3 will get Fortification up here in the top lane. And Jamie D, pretty low as well as the sway is, but it doesn't matter, there's no one really here to kill them. But the BKBs were popped, they're on cooldown right now, and all the ultimates are pretty much available. The Sonic Wave was used, but the Ravage is kind of the important thing. TP coming in from the Queen of Pain. Here comes some more initiation. Is the Eclipse available? I think he just uses it well. He's going to go down. There's the Ravage, only hitting on a few too, in fact. Jamie D trying to get out of there in time, but Chicken MC going to right-click on Windshear. He's going to try to go with the ult here, but Windshear will go down. Hikato as well, going to take a lot of right-click and Templar Assassin, helping with that kill. And that's a GG well played coming out from Empyrean and his team. So we're going to move on to Game 2 here in just a moment. MYI looking really strong with a sort of unorthodox play from a Riki pickup that we don't see too often. So, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't be afraid to follow me on my Twitter or Twitch channel, which you can find up here. And some DCs coming out real quick, and we'll finish the game. Remember, this is a best-of-3 series, so if MYI can close it out in the next game, they'll be moving on to the Grand Finals, which is a best-of-5 against Team Shiyan. But, of course, there's still 2 games to be played, perhaps. And the entire Team DC coming out from GH, and we'll look to reset this game here in just a moment. When we do so, I'll just on screen. So once again, this is the University of Waterloo Gamers LAN. Thanks for watching. This is going to be the Loser Bracket Finals. MYI will take the first game pretty handedly. So we'll get out of this game, get into the new one, and I'll be right back, guys.